One lucky student will get the chance to be dean for a day. We'll tell you how.
A current NFL star and former Cyclone is back to earn his degree. Find out who and why.
I'll update you on all your Cyclone sports news.
And we've got quite the storm brewing for Thursday. We'll have the updated forecast. You're watching Newswatch 18.
This is Newswatch 18.
Milwaukee.
Newswatch 18 starts now.
Welcome to the Tuesday, February 19th edition of Newswatch 18. I'm Chandler Nissenson.
And I'm Adam Brower. So, Christy, I hear there's quite the storm expected for this Thursday.
Well, that is true. There is a good amount of snow in the forecast, but we'll talk about that later, so you're going to have to stay tuned for that forecast. So let's take a look at tomorrow. Not snow quite yet, but we are going to see some pretty cold temperatures. If we look at that day plan, we have 0 degrees tomorrow at 7 a.m. It is going to be really cold when you walk to class tomorrow. We're talking about wind chills in below, like the negatives, about 15 below zero. It's going to be pretty chilly out there. You're going to definitely want to bundle up. It's going to warm up though by noon, 18 degrees, and 3 p.m. 21. So it'll be nicer, but the clouds will start to move in tomorrow afternoon, and those are going to persist through that snow we see on Thursday, but we'll have that coming up in the forecast.
Free pancakes were served for hungry students this morning in celebration of National FFA Week. Breakfast was served by the ISU Collegiate FFA Chapter in Kildy Hall, but pancakes were not the only reason people were up so early. Acker and the winner will have lunch and spend the day together to get an insight into the life of a dean. All the proceeds from the raffle will go to the chapter. Hy-Vee, Fairway, Anderson Erickson, and IHOP were sponsors of the event.
Many parents today try to prevent their kids from watching too much violence on TV. However, a psychology study has found educational shows can increase aggression in children. ISU professor of psychology Douglas Gentle stated that children who spent more time watching educational programs increased their relational aggression toward other children over initial levels. Researchers observed how the children interacted in the classroom and on the playground at daycare centers for about 2.5 hours. Results showed their behavior often mirrored children TV programming. The Journal of Applied Developmental Psychology published the study.
Iowa high school students attended the annual Iowa High School Speech Association Large Group All-State Festival held Saturday at Iowa State Center.
Hear ye, hear ye. These words welcomed over 6,000 visitors to Iowa State's campus during the 38th Annual Large Group Speech All-State Festival.
It's a great showcase for Iowa State University to have people from all over the state come and visit Ames and visit the university.
Though achieving All-State recognition is impressive, coaches, students, and Speech Association board members agreed that the importance of speech lies in the learning experience.
Seeing kids come in as a freshman really shy and quiet and kind of nervous, and then by juniors and seniors, they're the head of the class.
I've definitely gotten a lot less nervous in my classes and stuff like that. I can talk to people a little more, and I'm a lot better with socializing too now.
Speech, more than any activity, crosses all the boundaries of this group or that group of students.
You may be asking yourself, what does a high school speech event have to do with Iowa State University students? The answer? More than what you might think. Shh.
We have ISU students that come to our Fall Coaches Convention. They have a great time there. Also, every year we host a judge certification on the ISU campus. This last year we had 80-some people at it, mostly ISU students.
Student judges are paid, and no previous experience in speech is required. However, the impact of a high school speech career can be long-lasting.
Part of the reason I came to Iowa State was actually because of the All-State Festival, because I came here and felt like I was at home.
It's not just preparing for this speech or this one-act play or something like this, whereas it's more preparing them for life ahead of them, life in college and beyond in their professional careers.
Reporting from the Iowa State Center, Kate Tyndall, ISU TV.
Blending the virtual and real world, the Iowa State Mirage Lab has another training session. Head of the Mirage team, Stephen Gilbert, said the project is designed to test the flexibility and effectiveness of military training that incorporates virtual reality. Gilbert also heads the Virtual Reality Application Center as Associate Director. The project originated as a study for the U.S. Army Research Laboratory. Michael, what's happened in Cyclone sports this week?
Well, it was a big weekend for Cyclone basketball. All of those stories coming up for you after the break. This is Newswatch 8. Basketball team dominated Texas Christian from start to finish. After a Niang to Edgem alley-oop on the very first possession of the game, the Clones never looked back and won the game by 34. This latest victory continues Iowa State's undefeated record in all sports against the Horned Frogs in TCU's inaugural season in the Big 12. ISU TV's Matt Rhodes has more on the victory from Hilton.
It was a shooting clinic here at Hilton Coliseum where the Cyclones beat TCU 87-53. There were 4 Cyclone players who dropped 10 or more points, but the star of the game was George Niang, who dropped a career-high 19 points. Coach Hoiberg brings us more on the game.
I really liked how we established tempo early in that game. Down there, we allowed them to control early in the game. Kind of became a slugfest, and they did a good job getting the ball inside. We wanted to keep them off balance by sending some different double teams at their guys. I thought we rotated out of it very well.
4 Cyclones players scored 10 or more points on the game and shot an aggressive 52% from outside the arc. The men jumped out to a quick lead and didn't let up as the Horned Frogs failed to score for the first 3.5 minutes. After an 87-53 pounding of TCU, the Cyclones are now 17-8 as they head to Baylor this coming Wednesday.
Tomorrow at 8 p.m., the Cyclones will travel to Waco, Texas to play the Baylor Bears for the second time this month. ISU won the first matchup at Hilton Coliseum. However, this time they are playing on the road in Texas. The Clones are currently on a 4-game road losing streak, and if they pull out the victory against the Bears tomorrow night, it will be only their 4th road victory of the season. ISU will look to stop senior point guard and Big 12 leading scorer Pierre Jackson, who had 23 points in the first game. Baylor, on the other hand, will need to keep Will Clyburn in check if they hope to pull out the victory. He had 28. That game can be seen on ESPNU. Sunday, the Cyclone women's basketball team put their 24th ranking on the line against West Virginia and came out on the losing end of a thrilling finish. The ISU women turned the ball over each of their last 3 possessions, and West Virginia took advantage. A Mountaineer free throw put them up by 2 with just 3.2 left on the clock. Iowa State's last chance was not successful, and the Clones left Hilton without a win, which would have been their 5th straight. One bright side of the game, however, was the 27 points put up by Hallie Christofferson. With those 27, Hallie became the 25th Cyclone to reach 1,000 points in her career. Nikki Moody chipped in 14 points, shooting 3 for 4 from 3, as the rest of the team shot only 2 of 19 from beyond the arc. With that loss, the Cyclones' record drops to 18-6 overall, 9-5 in the conference, and will likely leave them unranked. The Cyclone women will be on the road for their next game as they head to Manhattan, Kansas to take on the Kansas State Wildcats. Tip-off is set for 2 p.m. on Saturday. The Cyclone gymnastics team took on Northern Illinois last Friday. The Hilton crowd saw the Lady Clones post a season high in points on the night and won the close meet. The girls got a big boost from Caitlin Brown and Kristen DaCosta, who both returned from injuries. Head coach Jay Renane was also very pleased with how Michelle Sheely performed Friday night.
I was pretty proud of Shelly for doing what she did. She's our leadoff on that event, and I always look at it like the first up on an event is the solid routine, the one that you can trust will hit a routine, and it sets the tone for everyone. And for her to go out and put up a 9.85 first routine out, I think that's exactly what we need.
In the uneven bars, balance beam, and floor exercise, while 3 gymnasts posted a season and personal bests in those 3 events. Camille Saint-Gervais posted a season-high score of 9.875 on bars. Floor champion Milan Ivory posted a career-best 9.87, and Sheely won beam with a season-high tying 9.875 as well. Cyclone gymnasts will be back in action on Friday for a 3-team meet. They'll take on both the Nebraska Cornhuskers and the Boise State Broncos in Lincoln, Nebraska. That meet is set to begin at 6 p.m. that's all I got for sports. Christy, what is this snow talk I hear about?
Well, there is some snow in the forecast, but we'll have that coming up right after this break. Stay tuned. This is Newswatch 18. Am I right? All right, and welcome back to Newswatch 18. We have quite the headlines going on. We've seen quite a large temperature fall within the last couple days. We saw 50s over the weekend, and we're now going to see a low of 0 tonight. Quite the temperature fall in the last couple days. Below 0 wind chills by tomorrow morning. We're talking about 15 below 0. It's going to be pretty chilly out there with those wind chills. And we have snow on the way, but more on that coming up in a few minutes. Stay tuned for that. But current conditions here in Ames, 13 degrees. We have a north-northwest wind about 15 miles per hour. But today we saw a high of 20. Low of 6. This is going to drop as we get into tonight and into the morning tomorrow, but things are looking at least clear for tomorrow. We have this rainfall, no precipitation today. 1.31 still today. We are still above normal, so that is good. And with more precipitation on the way for the Thursday actually coming up. So current temps 13 in Ames, 17 in Des Moines. 1 below 0 up in Mason City. So already hit below 0 temperatures there. 15 miles an hour winds right here now in Ames, 14 over in Sioux City, 8 down in Council Bluffs. That's what's dropping those temperatures. That's what's making it feel a lot colder than it is currently right now. So these wind chills, as we just said, 3 below 0 in Ames already. That's going to continue to drop as the evening goes on because we have this low of 0. So one more time, 15 below 0 for those wind chills tomorrow morning. You're going to definitely want to bundle up as you head out to that bus stop. 22 in Ames for tomorrow's high, 24 down in Des Moines, 16 up in Mason City. And these temperatures are kind of what you're seeing around most of the region right now. We have 32 down in Kansas City and 13 up in Minneapolis. But roughly those same temperatures are kind of what you're seeing for most of the region. We have these clouds moving through, and we have these even a winter weather watch that is already in store for us here on Thursday. We're going to have to keep moving on, though, and we have probably about 4 to 8 inches is what the forecast is seeing right now. You see this future cast, and we're going to have the snow moving in about Thursday afternoon into Thursday evening, with snow totals by Thursday about 6 o'clock being about only 3 inches. But as we continue to move into 7-day, we have another chance for snow coming up on Monday.
Many student athletes leave college without finishing their degrees. One former Cyclone who is now in the NFL has come to campus this semester to finish what he started.
Leonard Johnson has returned to Ames, but this time it has nothing to do with football. After spending his rookie season last year in the NFL with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Johnson has returned to finish what he started.
So I was 9 hours short from finishing up with my degree. And the second reason, I'll be the first one in my family with a degree from a major university.
It was well known from the very first day that I arrived that his getting a college degree was very important to him. Leonard just qualified for school and got himself in, and now here it is, 4.5 years later, he's going to have his college degree. So very, very exciting for not only him but for his family.
After going undrafted in the 2012 NFL Draft, the Clearwater, Florida native chose to sign with the Buccaneers. It took Johnson only half of his rookie season to crack the lineup.
Before you knew it, I think it was week 3 or 4, I got the opportunity to play, and I played really well. And from that point on, I tried my best not to give the job up.
Earning his first start in Week 8 against Minnesota, Johnson picked up his first of 3 interceptions. Perhaps his biggest interception came at home against the San Diego Chargers.
And once I caught the ball, I kind of stopped for a second and was like, did he just throw me the ball? Because he literally threw it right to me. And once I came to 2, I just took off running. I think an offensive lineman almost tackled me on one play. It was crazy. I got a whole bunch of crap for it all week. But I'm running down the sideline. I'm looking in the stands. I'm dancing. I'm just having fun, just living my dream. And finally get in the end zone, and it's just like, I think I just scored a touchdown.
Johnson spent his rookie season living at home with his family, sleeping in a twin bed and doing chores along the way. Despite his success in the NFL, Johnson's former teammates at Iowa State have treated him the same as he helped set an example with his return to school.
You can be a great athlete and achieve at the highest level on the highest stage, and at the same time be devoted and dedicated to your education, and even beyond your college days, come back and achieve that degree of being an Iowa State University graduate.
It just means a lot, knowing that none of my family members have degrees, and for them to say that, you know, a representative in the family, a family member, has a degree and has brought a lot of success off the field as well.
After Johnson earns his degree from Iowa State in May, he will return to the Buccaneers to continue his career with a contract signed through 2014.
I still got a long way to come, and I kind of want to keep my mind like that, you know, because once I started thinking I'm in the NFL, then I started getting ahead of myself, and I don't want that to happen.
For Iowa State News, with Dylan Montz, I'm Alex Halstead.
Johnson says even though he's just getting started with his career, once his playing is done, he wants to work with kids. That's all we have for you on this edition of Newswatch 18.
Tune in Thursday night at 8 for more Cyclone news, weather, and sports.
Have a great night, Ames.